15 seconds.
So we're in the 15-second window, which is great. And here's something else that's interesting. By the way, Brent, Tim, Tru Tulsa, apparently wearing a hoodie puts a big target on your back and makes it acceptable socially to gun somebody down in a thing. That's according to Geraldo Rivera.
Yeah, don't pass that to me, man. This guy is clearly being framed. He's just an innocent dude just walking along, and he sees some kid in a hood. He's kind of walking kind of shifty. You know, he looks shifty. You know, he just looks shifty.
I gotta tell you, man, it's the hoodie.
This guy's a hero.
The hoodie is the sheer. I think it's the strings. You know, much like in prison or something. You know, like they take the shoestrings away and stuff, right? Like I think that the hoodie strings. I think the hoodie strings, maybe those, like a weapon. That's worth gunning somebody down for.
I think he was scared that the kid was going to make a Garrett out of the hoodie and then run and attack him. Is what it. Amazing to me though is that no charges have been filed.
That actually is. I mean, it's a little ridiculous, honestly. The man had enough time to go to the trunk of the car, open up the area, move it. Like, really? Spare tire? I need to fill that up at some point in time. You know, jumper cables, move those, get the gun out, load the gun up, you know. And then go kill somebody. And then he's like, I was standing my ground. I thought I was in risk of my life. And the guy's not even armed to start with. Is he armed with a hoodie? Is he going to hurt you with a hoodie? Is he going to choke you to death?
And then if there was a bullet in the chamber, that begins to show intent. So, in other words, stand your ground. I mean, I'm coming at you and I won't stop. Well, that's great if I'm already armed and, some guy's coming at me. Yeah. But what this Zimmerman fella is saying is that, no, I jumped out and I was walking after him and I came back, he started beating me and he had me on my back on the ground. Well, at what point was he able to escape that embrace and get the gun from the car? Well, see, no, he already had the gun with him, and furthermore, it means that he probably already had a round triggered or chambered, I guess is the word you shooters use.
Well, and the thing that's driven me kind of that I saw, it's a police video, right, of him going like handcuff the guy, he's in there, he's getting out of the cuffs. You've seen it. We ran this thing like a million times on TV. And the dude's handcuffed. There's no blood on his shirt. There's no blood on the other cop's shirt. And the guy claims that he broke his nose. If you break somebody's nose, man, that thing is just, you got blood everywhere, man. You got blood all over your face. The cop's going to have probably latex gloves on and stuff.
Well, what happened was the cops were covering for his action. In other words, after they saw who they had, it wasn't bad guy on bad guy. It was probably, gray guy on bad guy. Then that's when they started embellishing it, because that's what the lying liars do when they lie. They embellish what happened to kind of fit their after-action report. We don't recommend charges because, look, man, he was trying to stand his ground without these important questions about when did he have the gun, like you said. Did he have to go inflate the tire before he got the...
Because, I mean, legitimately, I think, anybody who's killed, shot, right, using deadly force, and then somebody claims self-defense, and the other person has no weapon, that already should be like a red flag. Let's double check everything. Let's walk around. Let's ask a few people. Mm-hmm. We possibly need to press charges on this. But because they're so afraid, I think, of getting some sort of a lawsuit because it's a new legislation, right? This is what you were saying. I think, right?
Well, no, they're talking about repeal the stand your ground law to make it to clarify it. And the other thing, too, here is that Zimmerman's pop is some sort of judge. One of these corrupt line municipal judges.
Not that all of them are, but perhaps he is.
No, right now the feeling in most Americans is that the system is turning against us. Yeah. Right? Now, the problem that we're having right now is that you have this issue which looks like the reason why Zimmerman thought this kid might be a punk is because a lot of the kids that are out there wearing hoodies, skulking around in the shadows, are punks. Yeah. And that is what Geraldo was saying. He was saying, look, if you dress and act like a thug, don't be surprised if someone mistakes you for a thug. If I go out there...
That was his point.
That was his point. I think it was badly phrased.
It was extremely badly phrased. I mean, because...
Don't let your kids wear hoodies.
My favorite part of that entire deal is that Geraldo Rivera, right? Geraldo Rivera drops this bomb in the middle of Fox News and I didn't
see the clip.
And right. So in the middle of the clip,
Go look it up.
Before, and I, you know, this was something that I saw through somebody else, but the point still is humorous to me. After making that point, within an hour of the end of that televised thing, Fox News had pulled their hoodie, the Fox News hoodie, off of the gift store website.
But then the race baiting goes the other way too, where Obama had his hoodies off like $10 or something, and
Yeah,
it was the Obama 2012 hoodie, and that was off. And so the other part, you know, again, and with what's been happening here, you know, the race baiting is kind of, it's feeding on itself. You know, where now you have Sharpton, who I think is eloquent at most times, but I don't know. I mean, I guess he's a race baiter. I mean, anytime you have a leader,
constantly
anytime a black
on
man,
the verge of like reverse racism.
well, here we go. This is it. It's on the verge.
But he's never. I've never really seen him just fully push off the deep end of reverse racism.
Stay with me here, okay? Here we go.
I'm going.
Here we go. Anytime a black man rises, okay, and you know, to a national level, and then he responds locally, then he's called a race baiter. How is that? How is that? Cesar Chavez, what, he'd be a race baiter now because he was Mexican, dealing with Mexicans? How is it that we can continue to allow these racist haters just to keep on putting that type of spin on it? I mean, again, we're not for Zimmerman, you know, but we're also not for using something as a race war.
I'm merely for the truth.
The truth.
Mind that. The true truth of the matter.
So we're going to get back. Okay.
We're gonna check it out. We're gonna come back, maybe discuss a few more of those things. We'll see what's happening. We'll be right back with you.
4, 3, 2, 1. Let's talk.
Yes.
Let's talk right over the music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey.
I like to talk right over that music. Some Coldplay for you.
Cool.
Talk.
Yeah. If you don't like Coldplay, well then you suck.
You really do
Coldplay,
suck.
Coldplay rules.
Coldplay rules. Jumping right into it here, we've had an awful time in Tulsa the last several days. 2 young men now stand accused of going on an 8-hour shooting spree in predominantly black North Tulsa, killing 3 and gravely wounding 2, following a tip to authorities. Authorities assumed what do they call it? An observational. They got the tip, there was an observation, and then an arrest.
Yeah.
Right, and so we have 2 people now accused of this. One, I mean, it was just, first of all, this is horrible, and it brings up a meme that goes on about Tulsa. Of course, spread partly by me on my personal blog, thetulsan.blogspot.com. Is Tulsa racist? I mean, you've lived here how long?
Long enough to know that there's the interesting thing. There's two fun things there, right? It's that Tulsa, when it comes to selling something or marketing like a restaurant, it is one of the top 5 most marketed cities in the country.
Because of its commonality.
Because it's got a fairly U.S. demographic, right? Tulsa, not everywhere, but just Tulsa, right? And I still think that there is a whole lot of racism here. I mean, like, if you were asking a standard Tulsan, like, what side of the city do black people live on? What side of the city do white people live on? There is a difference. There is some still divide,
and it's huge. I mean,
it's big enough that the average person, racist or not, would be able to tell you that there is a slight difference. And you just can't go around driving in a van killing anybody. And if you're a white dude driving around just going on a killing spree, killing black guys. No, man, that's just extremely screwed up on a whole bunch of different levels.
It's ultimately, I want to say it's rare, but Tulsa is far enough in the South that it's nothing to see guys driving around with the Confederate flag or to have, tattoos, swastikas.
Shaved heads.
Well, that's the problem right here, the hoodie. See that? You racist. Just because you have a shaved head and you're white now.
No. I merely was referencing all of those things combined. Swastikas, shaved heads, and Confederate flags. Typically, you're partially racist.
If it's all bundled together.
You at least maybe divide. You see Skittles as different colors, perhaps, you know?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but these guys that went on the spree there, they were absolutely, gunning for blacks. This fella, I guess his dad had been killed 2 years previously at some shooting at Comanche Park, and he harbored a racist, unforgiving attitude toward all black people. Now, this is kind of interesting because this guy actually put on his Facebook post that I don't know what I'm going to do, and he was kind of intimating online, that he was kind of planning something. And in the aftermath of this, the emphasis has been on let's find this person, and this was good. But I think something else, let's find this person, and Councilman Henderson was talking about the need for North Tulsans, black folk, to overcome their fears of snitching with the police, right?
Yeah.
And this is good, but I think also important is to
there's got to be racist cops, just like there could be racist in anything else. But you gotta stand up if you see something crazy going down, black, white, Asian, Hispanic, Mexican, whatever. Say something about it. Do something. Stand up, and don't be the victim. Be the hero,
And this is it. I mean, if someone's posting something on Facebook that something's going to go down, then they're talking individually to somebody.
Then unless they've got zero friends on Facebook, somebody should have said something.
Well, this is it. Well, even if he wasn't directly saying, I'm going to go start shooting black people, okay, the fact on Facebook, what my point is that he was probably talking mano to somebody, and this is very important, is that people, what they say they do, are going to do, are more likely to do that thing than if they don't say they do it. In other words, people tend to project what they're going to do, right? And so,
I mean, and if you're crazy enough to tell people you're going to go gun somebody down, or even contemplating that idea, and you know this person well enough that they would tell you something like that, you should probably know if they're joking or not. If they're serious, you need to. Seriously, you got to say something, man. You can't just let a whole, four people get gunned down?
Five
total, 4 dead.
Do they have access to the weapon, or to the matter of committing this act, the subject, or
They're totally right.
They have to have the thing that they say they're going to do this bad thing with. Secondly,
if you're like, I'm gonna,
they have to have motive.
I'm going to fly a rocket ship to the moon. Well, that's great. Nobody's going to believe me because I don't have a rocket ship, and what's there to do on the moon? I'd rather watch TV. It's more entertaining.
Mm-hmm. Right? And you don't have the opportunity to go to the moon.
Exactly.
So you have to have the motive, and you have to have opportunity. So this is interesting because there were two involved in the shooting. Initially, it was like there was a white guy shooting people, and this is true, but there were two people involved. So either one of the people said, "Man, my buddy did it," or someone's friend, or they read it, or they mentioned it to someone else. So it'll be interesting to see, who ended up calling authorities about this, and are they going to get a reward? So no, I don't think Tulsa is any more racist, but
but society in general, I would think on average, that's why I was making that marketing point, right? Cities around the country are kind of ranked by marketers. Tulsa is always in the top 5 because of its national demographic.
Oh, you mean for marketing? Okay.
For marketing,
yeah.
Because of population, right?
Yeah.
And my point there is that if it's happening here, it could happen anywhere in the U.S. because there's the same type of people that live here live everywhere. And if you hear it, you're seeing it, say something.
Say something. And this is the thing, is that a lot of the news blogs, they have they allow comments. Well, you should probably, I'm not going to mention sites or individual entities, but one entity, this guy there was a psychiatric patient that had been gunned down by Tulsa police, in my estimation, unfairly. But that's not my decision to make. But in the comments, when the fellow's name had been released, there was a kid by the name, I don't know, I thought his name might have been Matthew or something like this, but he was literally writing, just shoot a N star, on it. And he posted several times on that. So, the reason why I'm kind of bringing this up is that, this wild and woolly, era of internet freedom is probably going to be, in other words, not only to save lives, but to save the internet. Don't let trolls go out there and just, I don't know.
Well, what's going to end up happening, and the government keeps trying to do it, is regulate what you can and can't say or be responsible for online. because the things that you say, if you write them down and mail them, it's the same thing as typing them online. They're still out there, even if you delete something. Anthony Weiner got pulled out of the whole thing.
Yeah, but
he deleted that picture, 3 seconds after he posted it, and he's no longer in government office.
Which is a shame.
Which is a shame.
We can talk about this on the flip side.
This is another discussion for another time.
Yeah, our whiteboard is out of bullet points, and our clock is over, so we're going to take a break.
We're going to take a break and come back and we're going to check it out. Do it.
He's on top of the world! He's on top of the world! Are you going to see it again?
All right. I kind of want to check it out, and I kind of want to check it out in 3D. I want to see if the ship actually sinks in 3D also. I'm curious. I want to get to the end.
Well, that was one of the most compelling parts of the movie, really, wasn't it?
Yeah.
In other words, you could have gone... you can watch any given movie and see about 10 million people die. But what made Titanic different was that, and this is what Cameron is able to do, he makes all his people... you actually give a flying flip about him.
They're not 137 people died in a boat crash.
It seemed human.
It was like they were like, hey, this guy right here, this is all of the things he's done in his life. They made them real. They made them have a history and a past and friends and family and people that would miss them. And made you fall in love with all of these characters. Mm-hmm. And then they all died.
Well, here we go. Now, this isn't original. Okay, this isn't original. But the one thing about Titanic is, listen, let's just be honest. Let us just be honest. There was room on that raft for 2 rows.
Yeah, for 2 rows. And also,
just
there was room on that door for 2 people. Okay, did you just let them die? Great. You could have pulled Leonardo DiCaprio up there. His character was kind of entertaining. I wanted to see what else he had to say.
He could have jumped up on there with them.
I would have loved to have seen what he was going to say after that part in 3D.
You want to see him. You want to see him move. You want to see him. Yeah. You want to see that car scene again in 3D.
So coolest movie I've seen recently, right? And actually one of the best movies I've seen so far this year, 21 Jump Street. I'm like, oh great, they're remaking 21 Jump Street. And this is going to be great. But a lot of my friends are going, go check it out. Great movie. And in fact, they even stick in there, right at the beginning, they acknowledge through the scripting that they're totally remaking something that's already been remade. And that this is what Hollywood's doing to just bring it out and just squash it right there at the beginning.
Because that's the elephant in the middle of the room.
They're like, everybody was like... we're remaking something that was done well in the past, that's like doing an Indiana Jones suddenly with an entirely different Indiana Jones, without ever talking about it.
Yeah,
you can't do it.
No,
it can't be done.
No, you can't do that.
Phenomenal movie.
But I think that's
hilarious, well written.
Any cameos?
Yeah. You have you heard of Johnny Depp? He's in that thing at the end.
The porcelain god.
You will be really, really surprised that Johnny Depp's been in the whole movie the whole time, and you'll be shocked at who he was.
That's good to know.
He was a lady. He pulls it off, and he's just takes the boobs out, and then it's him. And you're like, it's Johnny Depp. He was a chick the whole time. He's a blonde.
Yeah.
That's surprising.
So really in town, just mainly we're going to movies. The Drillers are getting ready to start their season. Tulsa didn't have any NCAA, so there wasn't anything going on that. A lot of concerts come to town.
Lots of concerts. You got LMFAOs coming into town, right?
Woo!
Right. They are sexy, and everybody knows it. That's why people are almost buying that concert out, and the thing ain't until the middle of the summer.
Wow.
That's great. Yeah, and when I ask people, they don't even realize they've already been here. They're like, it's so great, they're coming. And I'm like, didn't you know they were already here? They opened for Black Eyed Peas. Huh. But nobody knew where the heck they were back then. They were like...
No one cared.
Nobody cared. Back then, they were just, boom, get off the stage. Who cares about your sexiness and who knows about it? We just want to see some black with some peas.
So, yeah, a lot of things going on in town, but really, like all other Americans, because we're so banal and so mediocre and average, we love ourselves some reality TV. Celebrity Apprentice watch parties are now the thing to do.
Oh, my gosh.
It's kind of a nice recap on on the weekend. I talked about this during my solo last week. I don't know if it made it up on the tube or not. But really, Celebrity Apprentice, I really have found myself kind of getting new respect for all the characters. I mean,
you see, I was watching. What's the program? What's the show?
Gotti's daughter.
That Penn was on.
Celebrity Apprentice.
Sabrina the Teenage Witch. Okay, so I was watching this show. Women were watching this show, and I walked into the room while the ladies were watching the Sabrina Teenage Witch. Set that out there. It wasn't a bad program, but anyway, so I walk in, and there's Penn. And I was like, hey, I've got a whole new respect for Penn from Penn and Teller, and Penn's Bullshit, and then the little magic show that he does. That guy is in there, and I got a whole new respect for him now.
Is this new?
This is new. This is recent. And then I was watching, when I was in the bar, came on in the background, was Coming to America. I forgot all about the fact that Arsenio was in that until I saw him, and then I was like, Arsenio, hey, it's Arsenio Hall from Celebrity Apprentice. It was awesome.
All right, who's your short list? Who's your short list for winning this whole Celebrity Apprentice?
Arsenio Hall is quickly moving really close to the top. I'm thinking final 5 for sure. Lisa Lampanelli, I think right now is currently my favorite. She's going a little bit crazy right now. She needs to cool down because she's blowing up at everybody. She's going to piss somebody off. But Arsenio Hall, I like Lisa Lampanelli right now. We should see what happens. But both those guys are very, very, very good. Penn's good, but he's ticking a lot of people off. So I'd still say though, final 5. He's a really smart player.
I like Paul too for being in the final 5.
He's playing. I think so. I think he's going to be one of those guys like help me out. The other guy
used to
from the season before last. Who was the other Choppers guy? He was the guy who's married to...
Jesse James.
Jesse James was on this thing. And he was sat in the background. Nobody said anything about Jesse James. Did everybody's graphics work. And then it got to the last 6 people, and then everybody started looking at him to gut him out. But I think that's going to be the Paul Tuttle thing, too.
Because Tuttle is used to working under deadline for very rich people that are demanding.
Yeah, that's what he does for a living.
That's what he does.
He makes miracles happen for people. At extremely high price tags because he's that good.
And I want to see if he can keep his cool going into this final stretch. I think that's going to be the real key.
And they all love him. And the only competition he led at the beginning, they won because he had somebody come in and drop $350,000 on one thing.
There we go.
And if you can pull in that kind of money, you're going to be in Celebrity Apprentice for a while.
Yeah, and so I think if there's ever a toss up, I think. That type of behavior will impress Trump, and I think that he'll give Tuttle, part of the, a little bit more due or a little more leeway.
I think so. And Trump is surprisingly giving a whole bunch of leeway to Lou Ferrigno. Lou Ferrigno, the guy who played the Incredible Hulk.
I like Lou Ferrigno.
Yeah, he's got he's deaf, and so he sounds.
Yeah, I mean,
like
he
deaf
has.
guy.
He sounds like a deaf guy.
I don't know how to say it other than he sounds like a deaf guy.
So this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna watch more Celebrity Apprentice, and we're gonna watch a little more American Idol, or The Voice, or Survivor, and we'll come back and we'll talk about it.
I see what happens.
I can't wait. I'm DVRing it.
Oh yeah, and that sexiness will be viewed this evening, and I will love it. It's gonna be great. And by the way, I hope you all had a great Easter. Hey, seriously. I had a lovely Easter. Did you have a good Easter?
I had a beautiful Easter.
I did the Easter stuff. I did the food stuff. Did some more Easter stuff. Did some more food stuff. And I'm stuffed.
Nice. All right. Well, this has been a nice little reunion show. Hope we can do this again real soon, like next week. Man, I don't have green screen. We are our own. We are our own green screen.
And what I wanted to make sure you guys notice back here, we've got the website up here. Tru Tulsa. Jump on this website. I promise we're going to try and get something up here other than this last thing. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. We're going to do something fun. We love you guys.
And I'm going to get on Twitter. See, the thing is, he posts to Facebook.
Yes,
and I was posting to Twitter, and then we weren't, you know, the HTML stuff, it's weird. It's almost like having a website isn't as important as it used to be.
No,
because
actually,
you can substitute the website with your social media presence.
what I want you to notice is that the storms are blowing in this way. We've got a lot of headwind coming this way. High pressure system coming down. No. Facebook, YouTube, Twitter. Jump on here. Jump these links. Check it out. Love you guys.